The small to medium sedan segment is dead. I want to know why. Because it's a segment I love. And when you've got cars like this, it makes you wonder even more. Savvy investing is best left to the experts. And when it comes to offshore investing, it's even more important to talk to an expert. Well, Earl Don from Forexpert is the guy you should be talking to for your offshore investments. Hi, I'm Alan R from MotorMatters, CHANGECARS and all things motoring. We've got the Honda Civic RS over here. RS does not stand for rally sport, does not stand for any funny thing like that. It stands for road sailing. We've tested the Civic RS in the past, but they have updated it very slightly. And you'll see the updates mainly are black cues in various places, like on the bottom of the spoiler over here, around the lights and cladding, door handles, things like that. Really, really attractive black alloy wheels over here. You can see 17-inch. They look really smart. They look really nice. As I said, the black door handles, things like that. It is a small to a medium-sized sedan, but with quite a fastback, I'm going to call it, design. Look at that, how sharp the C-pillar is, how the roof slopes downwards at the back. So it's got a very, very sporty look to it. Now, let's take a look at the space, because that's always what you want to know about every car I test, isn't it? Climb in the back seat, remembering that, as always, driver's seat is set for me. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? Lots of legroom. Headroom is fair without being exceptional. Remembering how the rear slopes back to the C-pillar, but I'm not going to complain, and I am happy at 2 USBs in the back over there. The seats are trimmed with a combination of leather and cloth, which is nice, feels good, and you'll see pretty subtle red stitching in a few places to make sure that you realize and think this is a sporty version. Come round to the back. You'll see the tail lights are pretty significant. They do go into the rear over there and into the bootlet, and you've got this black spoiler on the back over here. Pop open the boot. Look how deep it is over there. We've got to do the Allen test, haven't we? Bit of a squeeze, just height-wise. Gee, but this is not bad. I'm calling this a 2 Allen boot, quite honestly. It really goes a long way back, and if you look at these levers over here, you can even pop the backrests of the back seats down if you want to individually. I'm not going to do it now, but I think you get the picture. Extract myself, which is a bit more difficult, and let's have a look under the boot board. And yes, you've got a spare wheel, but it is a space saver. Honda, I would really prefer a full-size spare wheel. Have to be honest with you. Powered by a 1.5 litre 4-cylinder turbo petrol engine that puts out 131 kilowatts, 240 newton meters of torque, powering the front wheels through a CVT automatic. But don't cringe or react when I talk about CVT. This is one of the really good ones. Let's check it on the road. Let's check it inside. Being driven by the man, Michael Pashut from All Things Motoring right now. Michael, how's it?
I'm surprised as well. I wish I was being driven in this beautiful car.
I drove you the other day, sir.
100%. But you have no proof of that. We've got to take your word for it.
You'll have to do. What are we in, Mike?
A beautiful 2024 Honda Civic, but not just any Honda Civic.
Yeah?
A special badge, and you know more about the badge.
Yep, it's called the RS. And I got you with this the other day, didn't I?
Absolutely.
What RS stands for?
Rally Sport if you are Audi.
Exactly.
Something different if you are Honda.
Yep, in Honda speak, it's called the road sailing. And do you think it sails?
Absolutely. So I won't lie and say that I've driven this car before.
Yeah.
I knew it was around. I don't get to drive a lot of the latest stuff, and while I remain relatively up to date, I can truthfully say after driving this I need to get behind the wheel more often. First impressions of this car?
Yeah, Okay, I agree with you on that. Bit of tyre roar on some open road maybe, but that's probably the biggest complaint we found, isn't it?
So it's interesting that we start with tyre roar. That was truly the only complaint. The car's got very little wind noise, unbelievable fuel consumption, nice perky engine, 131 kilowatts. It is proper all-rounder. I have two challenges with the car.
Okay.
One, the road noise, which might well just be tyres or the surface we were on.
Yeah.
However, the price point, unfortunately. Honda, let's start with the positives. You have a superb product. Is it a 700,000 Rand plus product? I fear not myself. Not too many others will see the value in that at 700,000. Your thoughts, Alan?
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head, Mike. And it's not. It's coming in. It depends where it comes from. Our concept of value at the moment has been skewed.
No question.
Because of the Chinese and Indian cars that are coming in, right?
But now it's interesting. So a lot of people will say that it's been skewed, and you're not wrong. However, to the credit of the Chinese and the Indian manufacturers, we're talking about Mahindra specifically, they bought quality products in at a lower price point than their Japanese and Korean and German counterparts. And well done to them.
Yeah.
That's the way the world works. We live in a fundamentally capitalist world. The best man must win. At 700,000 Rand or thereabouts, I believe a superb car, as I said, but not the right price point. There are better products in that price point.
This is the difficulty I've got with this car. I'll be honest. I love this car. I'm really enjoying it. We've done open road driving now. We've been on a weekend cruise. Can we call it that?
Absolutely. We had the pleasure of going through to Cape Town from Joburg in 6 hours. Okay, that's a joke. We had the pleasure of going through to the Northwest Province. A nice long drive, but absolutely superb. Comfortable. It's got all the creature comforts, heated seats. It's got the tech, electric seats, but again,
electric driver's seat.
Electric driver's seat. Sorry.
Okay, only I
didn't bother to change my seat when I was in your position, but when you're in the driver's seat, I had to change it.
You had to move it. Yeah, I know that. But now two standouts I want to comment. Okay, you mentioned fuel economy.
Unbelievable.
We've done now 500 Ks, mainly cruising. Okay, 6.6 liters per 100.
Absolutely.
Which is superb for a 1.5 liter turbo. Okay.
That is 15 kilometers per liter. That is superb in any size engine, let alone an engine that has got performance. 131 kilowatts is strong. This is not a lightweight 1200 or 1 liter 90 kilowatt engine. Proper.
The other thing, let's just get the elephant here. It's got a CVT automatic. Now, I know a lot of people...
Allow me to interrupt? In theory. Why do I say in theory?
Okay.
Because CVT gets an under-deserved bad rap, in my opinion.
100%.
Nothing but nothing, and I cannot emphasize that enough about this car, tells me it's a CVT with the perceived negatives. It is silky smooth. I don't know if it's a 6-speed, 7-speed, 8-speed, 9-speed. Obviously, being a CVT, it's not. But it feels like it's got long ratios. The shorter changes are superb. This car, unbelievable.
And by the way, it's got multi-mode. It's got a sport mode and eco. We've just left it in normal because it behaves
now he saves the
so
best
well. But it behaves and performs so well.
And then 40 kilometers from Johannesburg, and I find out there's a sport mode.
You didn't look. You didn't look, did you?
And then talking about features, what is the one feature that we've spoken about repeatedly that is stand out from a safety point of view? When we talk about safety today, airbags don't count. ABS brakes don't count. Why do I say they don't count? They're absolutely the bare minimum. It's like being a parent, putting food on the table, kids... giving your kids schooling and clothes on their back, you get no points.
Correct.
That's what ABS is for me today, and airbags. What is it?
Okay, it's that lane keep assist function that it's got.
Absolutely.
And it's an active one. In other words, it literally pulls the car back and centers it in the lane.
100%. You're driving on the open road, there's a solid white line, and you just veer marginally into that solid white line, rightfully so. It tells you, boss, you're making a mistake, let us help you. And the beautiful thing is, if you veered into the wrong lane, and I took my hands off the steering wheel on purpose, and you let go, it pulls you back, but it doesn't just pull you back and then you drift to the left. Pulls you back, corrects it, And then it gives you a nice warning. It says steering assistance required.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
100%. Make sure you're awake. That's the
Right.
point. Mike, overall, final impression?
Car faultless, really faultless. I get back quickly to the one thing that we did fault it on. Might just be a tire choice or the road we were on. But now on the open road, 120 kilometers an hour on the highway, zero wind noise, zero negative feedback, and very low road noise. Overall impression, 9.27 out of 10.
Okay.
Jokes aside, a good solid 9+ out of 10. Honda have got a lovely product here, Alan.
They have. I'm very much. I mean, this is the kind of car, take the price thing out of the equation, I know I could live with. Let me put it that way.
100%.
So can we leave it there? Thanks, Mike. Jumping in behind the wheel, let's take a look. Well, we've done 635 kilometers on this test, and I think that's pretty good, 6.7 liters per 100. Cruising, yes, but not feathering and certainly not driving for economy. So I'm very happy with that. It gives you everything you want, as you expect. Now, because this is the RS model, you have got active cruise control and you've got active lane departure, which we talked about a lot on the road, so you'll get a lot of that. So these are good features you've got, and these are the kind of features you expect from an upper level vehicle in the market. Got everything else you want, as you would expect, and we'll go over now. You take a look at the infotainment screen. Nice feature is the built-in navigation, which is standard, although I think you know by now I like to use Android Auto. An interesting fact, if you look down here, there are two USBs. The one is for screen mirroring and the other one is just for charging. For Android Auto, for some reason, you have to use a cable on this car. Not a big deal. I'm quite happy with it and I'm not stressed. And you do have an inductive charging pad just below that as well. Very, very neat dashboard over here. This unusual mesh treatment across the dashboard. Just something different, looks very different, and I think works quite nicely, very effective, and your dual zone climate control. These are all things you expect on a car at a level of this type. You've got an unusual finish to the center console as well, but it's neat, it's smart, and your conventional type gear shift. Over here, you've got the drive modes. You have Eco, Normal, and Sport. It does make a difference to the performance. You could certainly feel when you clicked it into sport mode that it held on, it revved higher, it gave a bit more of a kick. But quite honestly, normal living, normal day-to-day life, I'm happy with it in normal mode, but it's up to you. And you've got an electronic parking brake. So you can see, this is a very well-spec'd, almost executive spec level on the car. Bose sound system as well, for example, and a standard normal type sunroof. Again, you like, you don't like, always up to you. Heated seats as well in the front. So you've got a lot of nice features on the car. But I've got to mention the elephant in the room. And that elephant is the pricing. And the point here is, depending on where cars are sourced from these days, it's all about exchange rates, duties, etc., etc. And this is making life very difficult for a number of manufacturers in this country right now, where the pricing just becomes something, and especially when you consider the cars coming out of India and China these days that are so price competitive. And I'm not saying they're competitive in every other way, but money talks. Because this car is priced at 725,000 Rand. It is the only option in the standard four-door Civic range. You've got to go to the Type R, which is a hatch and a whole different ball game, not even to be mentioned right now. This car, of course, the natural biggest competitor I keep thinking of is the Toyota Corolla, and we all know a lot cheaper than this, for example. It is a great car. It is a quality car. It really actually pleasantly surprised me during this test, and we did a nice open road trip in it. So I really did get to experience it. It did everything I asked of it, and it delivered really well, really comfortably. But it's up to you whether you can get past that price. I've got to put it as simply as that. But it's a really good car, and I really did enjoy it. For MotorMatters, Change Cars, and all things motoring, I'm Alan R, and I'll see you next time.